The plains of East Africa, hunting grounds for the swift and powerful. Hi, I'm George Page. When we think of predators here, the great cats come to mind. Lion, leopard, cheetah. But among the carnivores of these plains is a small, wily member of the dog family that sometimes outwits them all, the jackal. Their reputation for cunning reflects their quick intelligence and their ability to capitalize on almost any situation. In short, they're beautifully adapted to life on the feast or famine plains of the Serengeti. In the rainy season, Tanzania's plateau is rich with wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle. This bounty of prey transforms the Serengeti into a competitive arena for predators. This is the story of a family of small predators whose lives depend on skill, intelligence, and the bonds that keep them together. This is the year of the jackal. Poppin, the big sister, a 1-year-old from last year's litter. She serves her mother and father as babysitter for their 3 new cubs. This is Bold Cub, bravest of the trio, always ready to outdo his brother and sister. He's always first out of the den and first to greet his big sister. Caution restrains the other cubs. Poppin is tolerant of his forwardness. While he monopolizes her, the others play on their own. This is Mother. She's returning to the den after hunting since first light. The cubs don't recognize her from a distance. Poppin and Bold Cub haven't yet noticed their parents. This is Father. While Mother goes to the cubs, Father greets Poppin. Mother's reassuring calls bring out the cubs. It's Bold Cub who feeds first, exerting his authority over his brother and sister. Charged with new energy, Bold Cub is bursting for adventure. It moves, it glistens, it looks like food, but it's big and a little daunting. It's a dung beetle. Bored with the beetle, Bold Cub goes off to bother Poppin. The beetle makes its escape, and the attention of the other cubs now switches to their big sister. Aware that Mother is watching, Poppin curbs her impatience and grooms the cubs gently. Father and Mother must soon set out to hunt and leave the cubs with Poppin. Mates for life, golden jackals nuzzle each other to reinforce their pair bond. They head for an outcrop of granite on the plain known as a kopje. Here, a herd of Thompson's gazelle has moved close to the island of rock. One gazelle, heavily pregnant, is having trouble giving birth. Her distress will signal itself quickly to many eyes in the air and on the ground. She's been suffering for 3 hours, but not until she finally lies down will the secret watchers move in. The vultures wait ominously. The eagerness of the scavengers prolongs her distress and her determination. Only in the strong jaws of a hyena does she find merciful relief. Her neck swiftly broken. And there are new competitors approaching hard on the hyena's heels, the golden jackals. The smaller jackals must rely on teamwork, speed, and agility to grab some of the meat. Father acts as decoy. He must distract the hyena. Only then will Mother be able to rush in and grab a portion. It's dangerous work. One bite from a hyena can snap a jackal's spine. Father's trying hard, but Mother's still waiting for a better opportunity. Now's her chance. And she makes off with the prize. Father can't resist a victory nip. Then he too heads for home. For the cubs, the open grassland is a world full of danger. But their lives are relaxed and carefree within the territory defended by Poppin. Poppin's constant watch on the cubs is a tiring occupation. Even when the cubs leave her alone, flies plague her with painful bites. From the language of play will emerge the codes of teamwork they will need as adults. Mother returns in time to see this rough play in progress. Noticing her mother's disapproval, Poppin adopts a submissive stance. At least until Father arrives. Then Poppin gets in another swipe. All the cubs are old enough to eat solid meat now, and Mother gathers them to feed. Poppin would like a meal as well, and she begs from Mother and the cubs. Father has his eyes on a herd of Thompson's gazelle. Especially a newborn fawn. sets off alone. Mother saw him leave his rocky lookout and is again ready to play her role as partner. She moves in, ready to help keep the mother gazelle away from her fawn. Father makes his move. He must now divert the adult gazelle while Mother takes over trying to kill the fawn. The mother gazelle fights bravely. Father eats voraciously while Mother is busy with the gazelle. Exhausted, she finally gives up. With all this fresh food about, Poppin would like a taste, but the cubs are not prepared to give away a scrap. And under Mother's watchful eye, there's no chance of forcing them to part with even a morsel. This meal is for the growing cubs only. So Poppin contents herself with an old, dry leftover and leaves the den. Bold Cub reasserts his dominance at mealtime. Away from the cubs, Poppin relaxes alone, a fact that has not escaped the notice of a stranger. He's about the same age and in handsome condition. Ash is an admirable suitor. He watches warily to see if her family has noticed this encounter. Their courtship is expressed through scent, touch, and movement. For the golden jackal, a body slam is a sign of affection. His next move will be to walk away, perhaps hoping that she'll follow. At the den, Mother is burying the leftovers. Bold Cub wanders over to watch her at work. Believing her cubs are safe at the den, Mother sets off to find Father. Bold Cub does not return to his brother and sister. With Mother gone, they hide for the night. Bold Cub follows his mother, but he's unable to keep up, and soon finds himself lost and alone in a frightening world of deepening shadows. It's a world of violence and danger. An April mist cloaks the Serengeti morning in stillness. After 2 weeks away with Ash, Poppin finally returns. But no one's there. The family has moved to a new den. Mother and the cubs have settled into their new home, an eroded gully beneath a lone tree. Father is the first to notice the return of his missing daughter. But Mother is the first to greet her. She lowers her ears as they meet, a gesture of welcome home. Poppin finds shelter just in time, but curiously, mother and father weather the storm in the open. The cubs come out to dry, but Bold Cub lags behind. Bold Cub seems reluctant to join his brother and sister. He's interested in their play, but he seems to have lost his spark. Poppin is on duty again. The cubs are older now and more demanding. Because of the rains, father and mother have left to remark their den boundary. Bold Cub has become a loner. He's been injured. He's lost his right hind foot, perhaps to a hyena. It's a legacy of his night alone on the Serengeti. It has changed his life forever. He plays alone, amusing himself with a poisonous centipede. Poppin senses the presence of a stranger and goes to investigate. It's Ash, who stops discreetly at the unseen boundary of the den. True to character, Bold Cub is determined to chance his luck with his venomous toy. But now, even a centipede is likely to get the better of him. Poppin is excited by the return of her suitor, but he's still cautious and remains just on the other side of the family territory. If he were to follow her across this barrier, he knows there would be a confrontation with her parents. His new bond with Poppin is strong, but so is his conflict. Soon, he'll have to make a decision about crossing the line. As time passes on the Serengeti, the grass is dry and the grazers begin to move on. The cubs, now 4 months old, are almost as big as their mother and father. Despite his injured leg, Bold Cub still can't resist making a bid for his old supremacy. But neither of the others takes him seriously. Never fully relaxed, Father watches the sky for circling vultures, a sure sign of food. Brother and sister rise in excitement when their parents call them to follow. It will be their first hunt. Left behind, Bold Cub is losing spirit. Stripped of his rank, he can only watch and wait for their return. Father warily approaches the prostrate gazelle. He and Mother know the aerial scavengers will soon arrive to compete for the quarry. Brother and sister have never seen such a large meal. They have no idea where to begin, and they've never been face to face with a vulture. Father's example shows them what to do. His inexperienced son mistakenly chews on a horn. Father tries to buy time by driving off the bystanders. Still unsure what to do, the youngster gets as far as the neck. Again, Father goes for the gazelle's belly. Finally, the hungry cub catches on. But the vultures are losing patience. They force the jackals to retreat. Mother and father call it a day, but one youngster still has an appetite for gazelle. He won't give up, despite the wall of sharp beaks and pounding wings. But everything gives way to a hyena. The valiant young jackal earned an extra mouthful the hard way. For Bold Cub, such adventure is impossible. Back at the den, he's alone and in danger. All he can do is cry out. His family hears his plea for help, and everyone rushes home to defend him. Father sees the threat to his son and gives chase. The vanquished hyena is cause for celebration, a family howl led by Father. Everyone, including Bold Cub, joins in. The strong bonds that help the family on the hunt have also helped save Bold Cub's life. It's the dry season, and the Serengeti plains are nearly empty. Finding food is not easy, and everyone is hungry and irritable. Each jackal must fend for itself. They search for anything edible: berries, insects, snakes. Mother sees an intruder. The cubs retreat. The stranger disregards jackal etiquette and trespasses on the family territory. Father is watching intently. The intruder is Ash, Poppin's persistent suitor. He's made his decision to claim her. To Father, he's a strange male violating the strict rules of jackal privacy. In defense of family and territory, Father advances, challenging Ash's move across the boundary. Ash adopts his most submissive posture. Remaining submissive, Ash retreats. Father is at his most threatening. Ash cannot ignore the growls, the display of teeth and raised fur, or the pungent scent that Father scatters by digging vigorously. The cubs join the chase. Poppin has been away hunting and returns to find her family in conflict with Ash. They'll continue to chase him until he's crossed their territorial boundary. Once across, he can relax at last. Now it's Poppin's turn to greet and appease father and mother, who are still excited by the encounter with Ash. Poppin continues to calm her father after his ordeal, but she has another male in her life now. Ash has been waiting close by, and Poppin greets him with a body slam. But this time, she stays by his side. They're partners for life. One last look back. Father seems to sense he'll never see his daughter again. It's the close of a chapter in the family's life. The den seems deserted. But Bold Cub is there. Once again, he's faced with a crisis on his own. None of his family is in sight, and they're too far away to hear him this time. This hyena must be faced alone. Bold Cub makes a desperate dash for safety, never to return. As the dry season progresses, the Serengeti bleaches in the sun. Dust flies under the last departing hooves of gazelle and zebra. Now, with so many grazers deserting the plains, father and mother turn their attention to smaller prey, scanning the ground for anything living. One trick is listening for food. These moments of close contact help maintain the strong family bonds. The jackals will soon spread out to scavenge on their own. The hot winds race over the desert plains. Though they expect it, the cubs are too old to have food brought to them. They still remain close to father, but he is not pleased. At this age, they're competitors in his feeding area. They watch as father starts to dig again. Mother, too, detects an underground meal. It's only a beetle. Not much, but every little bit counts. Father is more aggressive in his search. He catches a lizard hiding from the sun. Such small morsels of meat and moisture are essential to the jackal's diet in the dry season. The young jackals have passed their survival test. Now, like their parents, they weather the storm outside the den. They watch the Serengeti come to life again. The fresh grasses will bring millions of wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle back to these plains. Another year has begun for the golden jackal family: mother, father, brother, and sister. Though they mate for life, mother is sexually receptive only 1 week each year. And 2 months later, the family has a new litter of cubs. Big Brother is now the babysitter, just as attentive as Poppin was, but perhaps not quite as gentle. As predators on the Serengeti, they're efficient and cunning. As a family at the den, they're affectionate, loyal, and playful. It's easy to see their kinship to the dogs in our homes. It's easy to admire them just for what they are, a family of golden jackals.
Some creatures are born to roam the plains, while some are born to explore the ocean's depths. Be with us next week for a nature special titled Elephant Seals, those magnificent diving machines. Stay with us now for a special that profiles Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York.